Okay, this is not, I'm not saying in this video that the Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is closed down right now. Okay, this is going to be a video of what happened way back in September. The reason I'm just not posting it now is because I never got to it, so sorry. But I know some of you may be wondering what actually happened to the rocket that caused it to close down, and this is what really happened. So Universal, I love them, but of course, like any company, they don't want to make it sound really bad or say that, oh, something, there was a malfunction or something like that. They just want to say, oh, well, we're just checking it because, you know, we want to make sure that there aren't any concerns. But there really was a concern. It wasn't their fault. It was actually that stupid German company. I don't even know. I really don't know how to pronounce their name. Anyway, that company that produced or developed the design for the rocket and all the schematics and all that kind of stuff, well, they were doing, because they always do, you know, annual tests of the stuff that they came out with, the products for their customers, such as Universal, and I know that there were actually quite a few others, like, you know, the, what's it called? Wild Adventures, or something like that? I think that's, yeah. They have quite a few products from this German company. I can't pronounce their name again, sorry. But anyway, so they keep doing tests, the company, to make sure that their customers, such as Universal and Wild Adventures, make sure that their cars and everything are going to be running properly. So when they were doing some of their tests, and they got to their Skyloop or X-Car system, they found some problems. Anyway, what they noted was the coupling bar, how wonderful, it actually couldn't support some of the strain that it possibly would have been having. And I have some pictures and the actual document from this German company. I don't know how to pronounce it. So if you do, then perhaps, you know, you could leave a comment down there and possibly, like, put it in the pronunciation way. Like, you know how they do in the dictionary, how you pronounce it. Anyway, but yeah, they were sending out their little notice telling all these companies, and it wasn't just Universal, so it wasn't just the rocket that had these problems, okay? But they were informing them all that basically you are going to have to now check your ride until, well, what they were going to do is they were coming up with a new design for the X-Car, of course, because they noticed, you know, there was a flaw in that one. It wasn't able to withstand that tension. So until a new design was out, you had two choices. You could either shut down the ride indefinitely, or what most people would do is they'd have to first of all have the ride completely tested and checked over and examined and everything. And if they have any problems, basically, then the ride has to be shut down immediately and cannot be operated again until those new designs come out and are placed in the system and then are tested and everything, which would have been like 3 months or so, from what they said. So what Universal did was they checked their ride and they found some small cracks in the coupling bar, which would be, I'll show you right here. Right here, as you can see, the design for the coupling bar, which I actually have another picture in case you're not sure where that is. Right, located right here. So there you have your two cars, and then it's located right here. And that's what this is. This is just a schematic drawing of it. So basically, they actually found a crack in that. And so, sorry about this. So sorry. I don't have anyone else to hold the camera for me. But anyway, when they found that crack, they had to immediately shut it down. I mean, if they didn't actually find any problems, which is probably pretty rare because this company actually came out and said that they were having problems themselves with their own product. So if they wouldn't have had any problems, though, all they had to do was basically they'd have to test it once. Okay, if they didn't find any problems the first time, they could keep running it. However, every 200 hours, they would have to do a full shutdown and full test on it again. Full examination on everything. Every 200 hours. Which is much sooner than they normally do. They normally do it like once a month. This would have been maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that. Just because of the problems. Until the new system came out. Once they got the new system out, which they were going to get in 2011 around, because this happened back in September, and that would have landed around 2011 by the time that they actually got everything done. Once that new thing was out and included, then they could have, they didn't have to worry about testing it anymore. But just for temporarily, until they got that new system, they would have had to keep testing it. So what happened was Universal decided they found a problem, so they had to shut it down immediately. And they weren't able to, do the tests every 200 hours. That was only if you didn't find any problems, which they did. So they just had to shut it down completely. Thankfully, it was not 3 months. It was only, I think it was about a month. September, I know it was closed in September. It was around September 3rd. It was closed all throughout Halloween Horror Nights, but it was open in November. So it was only about 2 months, which is better. And we were thinking it was going to be like 2011. I mean, we were really thinking it was going to be like February, July, or January. So what they actually ended up having to do was, I heard, and from what I read and everything, that they were going to have to take all the cars, they were going to have to take them off of the track completely, ship them all the way to Germany to have them completely redone. And that's before they even had, the German company even had that new design out for the coupling bar. So they would have had to ship it there, waited for them to get the new design, tested the new design, put it on the cars, tested it out, put it on the cars, then shipped it back to Universal, then to go through another 2-3 weeks of testing. Yeah, that would have taken way too long. So what they ended up doing is they said, you guys, this is your fault. You can bring your sorry butts over here and your engineers over here, and you can fix it over here. We're not sending our product back to you. You're the cause of all this. You're coming over here. So they ended up fixing it here in Florida, in Universal Orlando. Able to do it there, thankfully. And tested it, and it worked fine. So that resolved a lot of problems. But it was not, as they said, Universal was saying, it was because of they were just doing annual maintenance.